Well, it's not me. I'll just quote to you David Cameron, the conservative former British Prime Minister, and he described Gaza as the world's largest open-air prison. And that's basically what it is. You can't go in, you can't go out. Nothing can go in, nothing can come out. The only thing that actually goes in is periodically Israel launches what it calls operations, and which aren't even wars, they're just massacres. They periodically launch massacres against Gaza. And the massacres in and of themselves are quite ghastly. But then there's the added dimension, namely because of the blockade, they can't rebuild after a massacre. So in Operation Cast Lead in 2008-9, 6,300 homes were destroyed. Operation Protective Edge in 2014, 18,000 homes were destroyed. When I say destroyed, I mean flattened, they're pulverized. And you can't rebuild because Israel doesn't let in construction material. And so you have this, it's a prison which is periodically demolished. And what makes it all the worse, if that's not bad enough, and that's pretty bad to begin with, but makes it all the worse is if you look at yourselves, I would guess your average age is about 20, 21 years old. Over half of the people in Gaza, over half are younger than you. Over half of the people in Gaza are children. They're 18 years old or younger. 70% of the people in Gaza are refugees, namely they were kicked out of Israel in 1948, or children and grandchildren of refugees. So you have this inhuman siege such that no one goes in, no one goes out, nothing goes in, nothing goes out. An inhuman siege which periodically Israel visits what it calls an operation, but which is in effect a massacre. And then because of the siege, nothing can be rebuilt. And on top of all that, the people on the receiving end of these massacres and the human catastrophe, because of the lack of building materials, the people on the receiving end, they're kids. I mean, we have to be clear about that. You have to out of the population, which is half or a little over half consists of children. And 70% consists of refugees and descendants of refugees. At this point, just to take one statistic that always stands out for me, everybody agrees, there's no dispute, 95% of the drinking water in Gaza is unfit for human consumption because the water aquifers have been poisoned, contaminated, and because the waste disposal system gets periodically destroyed by Israel's assaults. Basically, the bottom line is each day a parent has to watch as his or her child is being poisoned drinking water. Now, that's just a fact. You can just Google wherever you want, Gaza water, and you'll see everybody agrees 95% of the water is unfit for human consumption. But that's not a natural situation. If they had a good waste disposal system, if they had electricity, their kids wouldn't be poisoned each day as they consume water. And so you have this month, this year, the 10th anniversary of that brutal siege on Gaza.